ago, I made a video on the T342 GFT, explaining why it is an incredibly unique vehicle due to the fact it has the most camo in the game. A lot of people think it's the E25 or like the Jagdpanzer IV. Nope, it's the T342 GFT. And for people unaware, in the Equipment Changes update, Wargaming doubled the effective camouflage net for tank destroyers. It is now a 20% camo buff when sitting still in a tank destroyer. So what that means is the T342 GFT went from around 79% camo to 89% camo when sitting still. I need you to think about that for a second. 89% camo. That means that your view range is 90% less effective against this vehicle. You will literally have to get within probably 100 meters to detect a T342 GFT, maybe even less. I actually don't know what the distance you will need to spot this tank is, but if it's sitting still, I'm pretty confident that you're going to need to get within 100 meters to spot this tank, which is kind of wild when you think about it. The T342 GFT also features a pretty solid gun. It has 400 damage per shot, over 280 millimeters of gold pen, solid DPM, and it's a very small mobile profile because it is obviously based off of a T342, which is a tier 8 medium. So it's actually a very fun vehicle to drive and mess around with. So we'll see what we're actually able to do in this game. Normandy is one of the worst tank destroyer maps because of the fact it's all a hill. So there's nowhere you can really, get the height advantage over your opponents on this map. So you kind of just have to wait for the enemy to make a misplay. We have the enemy Tiger. Imagine if that hit. But we're just keeping an eye on the entire enemy team. We have the Y5 ELC BIS up top. And I'm thinking right now that that's probably the play I'm going to make. Am I spotted? No. Okay. Oh, I am spotted. Interesting. Alright, well, either way, I'm just going to drive right on over onto this enemy Y5, and chunk, nice, 397 shot. I'm going to let the T20 deal with that, and then I'm going to push the Barask, which I'm expecting to be on reload. I could be wrong, but let's just drive over. There you go, 442. You can see the damage per shot on this tank is really nice, and the DPM is solid as well, so you don't really need to worry about any of that in terms of this vehicle. We have the lightweight in front of us, aiming. There you go. We actually got a bounce as well. Yeah, funny enough, even though the camo values are really good on this tank, we haven't actually been able to use those camo values at all so far. So we're just going to wait here for our team to shoot at the lightweight. He is now backing up, and he's dead. Alright, pretty good. There's no point to bleed health, especially for only 170 damage, when I can just be a little passive and play it smarter. So we have the Skoda T56 all the way in the back, and I'm going to roll wide and get to the side of the Skoda. That's the plan right now, because he's climbing his way up this hill, it looked like. So if I get behind him just like this, we're going to be able to get some good bleeds. There you go. Nice 387 damage shell. And while that Skoda T56 is a tier 8 heavy, I feature way, way more damage per minute than his tanks. There you go. Nice 424 into his lower plate. That puts us up to 2,000 damage now dealt, which is really, really solid. Looks like he's going to be looking at the AMX Defender, which means I can get behind him, and another snap, 380 damage there. And there's only 2 tanks left, an IS-5 Guardian and the enemy Skoda. So, yeah, let's just jump down the beaches, see if we can get the clearing shell into the enemy Skoda, and bonk! There you go, 327. So we actually didn't get to use the camo once this game. Like, I actually don't think we did. But we still did very, very good. We did 2,700 damage, and we didn't bleed a single hit point. We used the solid DPM and high alpha with pretty good penetration to cut through our opponents, and see ya! There you go, 2,800 damage. Pretty good game. This is why I really like the 342 GFT, though, because not only does it have this really, really dangerous passive capability, but it also features a really, really good kind of aggressive playstyle if you know what you're doing. I mean, that was an ace, which is a little surprising, but we did kind of frontline in a tank that you normally aren't going to see frontlining. I've honestly been trying for like 5 games now to get a decent map for tank destroyers, but I give up. We're on Mayan ruins, and that's as good as it's getting. The unfortunate thing about World of Tanks Blitz is lightly armored tank destroyers are punished because the maps are not large enough to make them effective. And the maps that are large enough still have wonky map design. Probably the best tank destroyer map in the game is Castilla, Oasis, Molendyke, where you have the ability to use your vehicles at distance. But I don't love the way Wargaming designs those maps. I think Canal is one of the best designed maps in the game. It's fair and balanced for the majority of vehicles in every class. The only problem I have with tank destroyers in certain maps is they get too much potential, and in other maps they don't. But we are on Mayan, and you can see that we are not using our camo at all because we are frontlining in this tank. We get a nice shell into the enemy T150, we put on our adrenaline. Now this tank has very good DPM. We're just going to get YOLO'd. There it is. Ah, yeah. Great play from the VK-45, losing 600 health to do 200 damage. Oh, is the T-150 going to do it as well? He is! Wow, what skilled players. These are real humans, not AI. Well, let's aim it on the VK, and see ya. Yeah, YOLOing really went well for you. But this is a good example of where camo doesn't really mean anything. I can play as passive as I want, and it's not going to change doodly squat in the actual outcome of this game. This T341, I don't even know what he's doing, bro. But, okay. Okay. The enemy team only has 3 tanks left at this point. One of which is a Bulldog who's face-hugging a heavy. Probably not the best idea, but what do I know, right? Shell misses the Bulldog. Oh well. It's not like we were going to get it out anyway. But what I am hoping is maybe we can get a shell into that Magnus in the back. There you go. 401 damage. That Bulldog is about the same brain as a newt. Why would you face-hug a heavy? Alright, well, let's see if we can get a final Shellaroonie into the enemy SU-100Y. He actually managed to bounce me. Had to have hit my gun, yeah. I was gonna say, that's the only spot you could have bounced this tank is in the gun. But, we did good. We didn't do great because, again, not a map at all to use the tank's camo. Like, that's the problem with tank destroyers a lot of the time when you play them, is that you just don't get given maps where you're able to actually use their strengths. 90% camo is wild, but I haven't gotten one situation where I'm actually able to use that camo yet. So I'll give it one last shot. We'll see if we can get a map that allows the T342 GFT to work. Thankfully, what's nice about the tank is that the gun is solid. Its mobility is solid. Fort Despair, bro. Wow. Fort Despair is probably one of the worst tank destroyer maps in the game, because where are you supposed to drive your tank? That's the question, right? Nowhere. Really nowhere is where you're supposed to drive your tank. Left. Let's all push left, of course. Alright, well, I don't really know where I'm supposed to drive this tank, because the only spot you can go left is in this bush back here early game. That's it. So, I guess we'll chill here. I mean, they have one medium, so we'll see, but I guarantee our teammate who's spamming push left is not the most skilled O'Baggand. But I'm going to push up here. They only have one medium, and of course, their one medium decided to go to the one spot that countered me. Oh well. I don't know what to do. Like, I really don't. Because that's where I would normally be sitting, but sitting there doesn't really give me many opportunities when this is the unfolding situation. Let's see. We have the 274A, and I'm going to drive right on over, and there you go. 380 damage shell out. Not bad. Not bad. I'll take it. Sorry, Progetto. Didn't mean to drive into you, but I'm also not sure why you're there. Okay. Well, a pen is a pen. Let's see. The Progetto aims, doesn't get the shell out, obviously. Leave the SU-152 on the flank. Let's just chill back here, and let's see if the 274 or somebody tries to cross this. That's really the question. We're going to see. Oh, okay, well, the IS-2SH is wide. Come on, somebody's got to poke this, right? Are you just going to sit here and never move the entire game? Bruh, that's so lame. I would expect the enemy to do something at some point here, but I guess not. Huh. Oh, there's the T-77. Let's push up a teeny bit. There you go. 306 damage shell into the T-77. Oh, man. Gee, guys, let's push left, and then not push. That'll go well. With the IS-2SH aiming. There you go. 340. Ooh, and the ISU gets a good bleed. Come on, kill him with the fire. Yes! Okay, that was big. That was actually big. Alright, the play that I'm going to make... Ah, there's a Helsing now on our rear, too. Alright, well, The only play that I think I can make right now is to do what I'm doing currently. See how that actually ends up working out, but don't really know. There you go. Nice shot into the enemy housing. We light him on fire. That's obviously pretty good, and that just absolutely ruined his game. And let's see. I'm just going to wait for the housing to... There you go. Give me his turrets, and we get a nice shot out. Wow, what a great team we were gifted here. Truly a spectacular team. Alright, well, we got tanks on our rear. We got tanks all over us. Let's just get a shell into the 274A. And 274A also has 310 damage per shot, so we're not going to survive this shell. Oh, we actually did. There you go. We got the clear into the 274. But the SU-152 kills us with the ram. I mean, I literally did everything I could have in that game. But again, we're in a tank destroyer that relies on camo and a team. And we had neither of those in that game. So we did fine. We did 2873 damage in a tier 7 tank destroyer frontlining. That's pretty dang impressive. But there you go. Our Lycan spamming for everybody to go left obviously did not work out. You can't push left when the enemy team has tanks camping in their spawn. It's just not a viable play. You need to push mid. You need to push heavy side. But oh well. We had 2 zeros, both of which were tier 8 mediums. So rather unfortunate at the end of the day. But we did fine. And you can see why I like this tank. I got pretty good stats in it, over a 70% win rate in the vehicle. It's a very fun tank to drive because of the fact it has a really good gun in terms of pen. It's fairly accurate. I mean, look at the premium. 283 pen is wild. So it's very accurate, has high pen, and has good damage per shot. It also has solid damage per minute at 2600, even with calibrated shells on. It has great mobility and super good camo. It's basically just like a mini 268 down in tier 7. Its armor is troll. It's not good, but it's good enough that you won't get penned with high explosive. At the end of the day, this is a fun tank, but I'm not going to say it's anything spectacular because I think a lot of people out there would struggle to do well in this vehicle. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about the T342 GFT, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.